Mate, to have played for all those clubs, I always say this when I'm on with professionals, it's like, you lived the dream.
It was, you know what, it was great. And I speak about this sometimes with the missus. Newcastle just don't seem like it happened. It was that long ago, of course.
Yeah.
I was, 18?
How many seasons were you there for?
Just over two and a half.
Two and a half seasons
before I left.
Newcastle, huge club.
But like, I watched them playing at St James's Park, hear the Blade and Races and the local hero song, Mark Knopfler, on when they're coming onto the pitch, and I think, that never happened. Like, it's one of those that just doesn't feel like it happened.
Do you feel like the guy from Goal, the film?
I do, yeah. I do. I was living the dream. I tell you what, he was a good player, him.
Oh, dude. But you was at Newcastle when, like, Shearer's there. Who was there? Kluivert,
yeah, he come and signed. Obviously, Gary Speed, God rest his soul. Shay Given, obviously Titus Bramble, Kieran Dyer, Bellamy. Look, we had a fantastic side. Like, we didn't do enough, actually, with the squad we had up there. Nobby Solano was one of my heroes, actually, up there. He was such a good guy, and I learnt a lot off him. And then he left and didn't work against me as such.
Was he Peruvian?
Yes, he was, and
best Peruvian ever.
Great trumpet player as well. He used to play the trumpet. Yeah.
What, better than Sonia from EastEnders?
Mate, he used to play the trumpet, a little tune before, and that would tell us that we had to go out to training.
No, he never.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I promise you. And we'd all go, right, we got to get our boots on, get out there.
Amazing.
It worked against me a little bit because when he left, I think he went Aston Villa at the time. People had thought I was brought in to replace him, and that wasn't the case. I was never brought in to replace, because he was a legend. Like, he was such a good guy, and kind of, if I didn't hit the ground running.
Hero?
But I think he's more of a legend than a cult hero, actually, and his crossing ability, second to none.
And the free kicks.
Incredible. And such a good guy.
Yeah. The reason I mentioned Cult Hero, because later on in the show, we're going to be doing our Saturday session, Cult Hero 11. Now, as you mentioned, some people go past that status just to legend.
Yeah.
Like, Cult Hero is someone saying, like, Duncan Ferguson.
Yes.
At Everton.
Yep.
53
today, fellas?
53 yesterday.
Yeah, so that's why we're obviously doing it.
He could probably still have it.
He definitely could still have it.
I'm not arguing with him.
No, I've seen podcasts of him recently, and I think, no, I'm not having it. Like, if I look at, I don't know, say Ipswich, for instance, Ipswich supporters, correct me if I'm wrong, someone like Herman Ariderson was a cult hero. He was one of those that was such a character on the pitch, and he scored a goal once. And he jumped into the north stand, and like full on, this guy at 6'5", 6'6", like jumped full on, starfished into the north stand, injured someone as well, got in trouble by the FA, and then the dubious goals panel took the goal off him. I think gave it to Marcus Stewart maybe, or someone. It was, but Herman Ariderson, someone that sticks out for me at Ipswich.
Let's go over to the phone lines. Let's get Bill on. He's a first-time caller. He joins us on the show. Good afternoon, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hi guys. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, good.
Thank you very much for calling us, my friend.
My pleasure.
A victory last night, still in hot pursuit of Liverpool. It might be in Arsenal's favour. This. Well, no, listen, you're going to be the
only
closest
ones in
contenders,
pursuit at the minute.
in my
You and
opinion.
Chelsea.
And the thing is, as well, maybe it might suit you lot just to everyone to stop putting the pressure on and just quietly go about your business and start collecting some points.
To be honest, I'd like to address a couple of points that you made, and I think you've been very objective, especially as Spurs fans, so I appreciate that. Everyone's on the wind-up or looking for bites. But a couple of seasons ago, when we finished second after leading for so long, we were playing some great football, and no one expected us to be where we were.
You played the best football in the league that year, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely, we did. Ultimately, we fell short, bottled it at the end, definitely. But Arteta changed his approach, and he went slightly more defensive. And the start of last season, we were a bit poor at the beginning, but then after Christmas, we really picked it up and found kind of our rhythm. But this year, he's kind of done it again. He's gone a bit more defensive.
Yeah.
It's not worked so far, but I think our biggest problem was the summer transfer window. We were hounded by all sorts of media, fans, for not being a really well club for selling. And we got rid of a load of players, but we didn't replace it. We was in early for Sesko. He opted to stay at RB Leipzig, which is fair enough. But then why aren't we not going for a number 2 target or someone? Because there's clearly a gap in our forward line, either a utilisation player that can play on the left and the right, or someone that can play through the middle, like a classic number 9 to sort of rival Jesus. And it's frustrating. I think we need to go big in Jan. I'm not just necessarily saying we need to spend loads and loads of money, but we need 1 or 2 additional attacking options, because we went in Pasesco, and then last day of the season, or last hours of the season, we managed to get Sterling on loan. And quite frankly, I think that was the beginning of our downfall. As soon as that window shut, I looked at it and thought, we've really messed up here. We had a great opportunity to really sort of go hammer and tongs with City. Well, now it's Liverpool. But, it would be a shame if we don't add someone early in Jan.
Yeah, do you know what? It's a great point there, Bill, because I'm just looking at the departures from 24-25. You know, even people like Emil Smith-Rowe, who I really rate as a player, Nketiah, who is someone who's come in before you previously for Arsenal and has done a job at times. Reece Nelson is one of those people. Didn't Reece Nelson score the goal that you won 3-2 against Bournemouth? Like, there was all the limbs at the Emirates last minute. You know, these are squad players that have made a difference for Arsenal. And you're looking at the Premier League table, I think you've drawn 6 games. And that was the one thing Arsenal kept doing over the last couple of seasons, was when it looked like it was going to be a draw, you'd pop up and score. Like the last minute limbs. It was just like, and that for me is when I was like, Arsenal are turning into champions. It does.
Yeah, you know what?
But unfortunately, it's not happened, does it? Because we've got our bench yesterday had no real attacking options on it, and just like you said there, we left. I agree it was the right decision to let them go, because.
But you got to replace them. You got to replace them.
But yeah, exactly that. We didn't replace them, and we have shot ourselves in the foot. I don't know if I can read into that, the Edu leaving. Whether the owners have sort of thought there's something not quite right here, or maybe it's just he's moving on to bigger and better things. But I'm looking at it as a real missed opportunity. And if we don't win the league this season, then it's a bit of an embarrassment.
It's definitely a missed opportunity. But would you say Arteta still has enough credit in the bank? Surely you wouldn't be Arteta out, would you?
You know what? Unfortunately, I was one of the major Arteta out at the start. There was, and he turned me around, and I'm quite stubborn in my opinions. But I think that he has definitely earned enough credit, but he needs to be a bit more versatile. I know he's got the mindset of being a bit more solid at the back, but I think if he looks at his development over the last 2 seasons, what's missing is that time when we come up against that low block and we really need to unlock the defence. And if that's spending money in Jan, or maybe getting someone on loan, for me, I'd break the bank for Isak, or go and give Wolves 60 million or whatever it will cost for Cunha.
Cunha's brilliant.
Both an amazing player. Out of the classic top 6, I think he's the best. Him and Isak are the best players, and hopefully, if you wave enough money at a club, they're available, and I think they will both walk into our team and would make us a lot better. I do think that it's going to be tough, especially if Liverpool do win the league. One of the other points you made was, would it be seen as a missed opportunity? Yes, but I also think that it's not just egg on our face, it will be egg on everyone's face, including Man United, someone that's changed manager more than I've had hot dinners. And they can't seem to do anything as well. So I think it would be sore for us if because of how close we've come for the last 2 years. But I don't think any other club could sit there and be happy with it, because everyone's missed an opportunity in that case.
Absolutely brilliant call. Thank you very much, Bill. I'll tell you what as well. Just you mentioned about the strike situation. Osimhen is at Galatasaray.
Yeah.
How's he not in Arsenal's team?
Gyökeres, mate.
Wow, yeah.
That's a shame. Look, the obvious appointment is Man United. That's the obvious destination. He may stay at Sporting, but those players, I look at Cunha, I think he could potentially be available.
He's been brilliant.
Isak, I'm not so sure. Isak, it frustrates me a little bit for the Newcastle supporters that whenever he plays well, which is more often than not every game, it's always, well, he's going to leave. He's going to go Arsenal. Yeah. He should go here. He should go there. He might stay at Newcastle, It's going to cost an awful lot of money to get rid of him. But the rules in nowadays and the reinvestment that money could bring, who knows?
Well, mate, the Newcastle seem to have got their stuff together. Anyhow, they felt like they had a bit of a blip. They're now only, 5 points off the top 4?
So mate, Isak is the best number 9 in the Premier League at the moment.
They don't have the money for Isak, let's be honest. That's a £150 million striker.
Look, I watched him at Ipswich when he scored the hat-trick. It's not just the goals. His movement, his all-round play.
Player.
He's the best number 9 in the Premier League.
That was a great bit of recruitment.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.